Good morning, good morning. It's a new month, people. It's the month of June, the very first day, the first working week of the month. Trust we all doing good. It's always a pleasure coming your way with Random Thought with Maxine. Trust your weekend was great. Mine was. You should see me in the studio looking all fly in my neatly branded t-shirt. We'll send pictures for you to have a look at what's really happening in the studio. Thank you so much for connecting with us. As I said, it's a new month. Top of the morning to all of us. Make it count. I'm sure we are all geared up for a new working week and a new working month. We leave everything in the hands of the Almighty because you know what? He's got us covered. This is Random Thought with a Maxine, with a Zine. Thank you so much for connecting with us. So over the weekend, I was actually tossing some few topics in my head that I'd love to share with you. And I came across some inscription about experiences, and I know that we all have had one experience in life, and you have two options, whether the experiences you had were good or bad. But whatever it is, every experience you have in the course of life gives you something to learn from. It shapes you, it makes you a better person. So do not despise your experiences, no matter how sad they made you feel, no matter how happy they made you feel. There are lessons to be learned from it. So please hold on to your experiences, learn from them, because it will shape you, and respect each and every one of your experiences. It makes you a better person. So this is just a little food for thought to begin the day with. Hold on to your experiences, learn from them, learn from other people's experiences, and I'm sure that it will go a long way to make you a better person. On Random Thought with Maxie, you know how we do it. We make our lives better by motivating each other, by talking out the things that would ordinarily burden us, making sure that we are there for each other and connecting with us so that together we can give each other hope. Thank you so much for your time. It's still Random Thoughts with Maxine. Stay tuned. So this morning, because it's a new month, I know we have a lot of things on our list, things that we want to achieve, things that we want to see materialize and all that. And it's okay. It's okay to have plans for the month, because once you have plans, you kind of like set a target for yourself so that you will, in all your doings and in all your dealings, make sure that you achieve them. So as I said, Saturday over the weekend, I was tossing in my head some experiences I've had in the past. And this morning, my thought for the morning will be based on some experience I had, but in particular reference to a specific experience. Do you remember me telling you that whatever experience you have had in the past or you are still having is a way of shaping you to become a better person? So this morning I'm sharing with you an experience, and I'm sure that everyone listening to me can relate, and it will resonate with some experiences you have had. So growing up as a young girl, my father was like an ardent listener of radio. I mean, my father is a music person, so we're also made to automatically enjoy listening to music. And we did every genre of music: gospel, high life, the Korean cheese, and the what's not. But interestingly, my dad also loved reggae music, okay? And anybody who is a lover of reggae music can always attest to the fact that if you are saluting the dawn of reggae music, it's obviously Bob Nesta Marley. And there's a song that I liked then. I didn't know why, but as I was growing up, I felt that I could relate to that song more, especially in the context within which the song was written. And today, this morning, I'm in a very good mood, so I'll attempt singing some song like that. And as I mentioned, the artist is none other than the legendary Bob Nesta Marley. And the song goes, maybe you have heard it. It's a very popular song. I mean, Bob Marley songs are popular. So I just try and attempt to sing some few lines so that we can relate to the words of the song, and it will help us pursue our discussion for today. So it says, I want to love you and treat you right. I want to love you. And do you remember that song? Okay. Every day and every night. So those times I didn't really understand why somebody will sit down and say, I want to love you and treat you right. But obviously, from the lyrics of the song, you have a feeling that the man was in love. And this is him telling whoever he was in love with, like, I want to love you and treat you right. And this song takes me back somewhere around 2016, 2017. I had some few challenges with a service I was assessing in the office. And you know how it is like when you have challenges with services in Ghana. If you don't know anybody to sort you out, you just be going through the motions and not getting feedback. You will call and it's the same thing they tell you. So I was just going through my contact to find out who can be of help. And guess what? I remembered somebody I knew who worked with that particular organization. So I just called the person up and just told him that, these are the challenges I'm facing with assessing that particular service. And I was wondering if he could be of help. Obviously, the person was like a boss, so the person could obviously sort me out. And it came with such a relief because as I speak to you, within like the next hour or two, I was sorted and that service was fully provided for. And so after the service, this young man will call and check up and ask if we still have issues with the services, and I'll say no. And ordinarily, he wasn't somebody who I talked to on a daily basis. I only called at that time because I needed a service to be rendered, and he was the only person who could have helped that time. But you know how it is when people are nice with their phone calls and their conversations are nice. Me, I like people who are good conversationalists. So I was just enjoying the conversation with this young man. He will call and ask how my day was. And I just realized that a normal conversation that ordinarily will end like in 5 minutes, this man will call me and we'll be talking more. And I'm also talking more. And you know, if he's listening to me, shout outs. And you know how it is. So the more, and people will say, the more you talk to each other, the more you develop love, and then the more you get close. And so that was my story. We were talking more, we were hanging out more. The talk, trust you me, is endless. And for everybody who can relate to the story of liking somebody and falling in love, you know the number of times you can stay on phones, have endless conversations, talk about things that ordinarily you think are ideal or are not things that you'd really want to talk to somebody about, but you just want to give them like an overview of what your day was like and all that. And you know, once you start talking like this and you start towing that line, then you know you are in love. So to cut a long story short, I had fallen in love with somebody who had given me a service and was of help to me. And you know how the face of love is. Sometimes the early stages start so giddy. Somebody will say, before I realize, you know, and things happen fast. These are the things we say because you don't know when you are taken off guard. And to be very honest, I didn't go looking for love. I only went asking for help for a service, and it later translated into love. If you are listening to me now, probably you are in love and you can relate to this story, or you are in love and you can relate to the early days of your love relationship. But to cut the long story short, Alex is in the background and he's giving me feedbacks. And so you know, I mean, whatever the experience of love you have had, you cannot rule out the fact that love is nice, it's sweet. When you get somebody who understands your language, understands your love language, and you connect. Now the young people say you vibe, so it's all about the vibing. If you vibe with the person, no blah, sparks will start coming. By the time you realize you are talking marriage and things. So this is how my love relationship started, from getting a service from somebody and ending. I didn't go looking for love, but love came looking for me. And so, Charlie, I gave it a shot. And you know how it is. For me, I have my love languages, and everybody does. It's peculiar to individuals. So there are people immediately, the person was a friend, maybe it was on a platonic basis. Once the person moves from that stage to another person, you'd want to change their names on your phones. Okay, so you understand, right? So if the person was Kofi Mensah, this is an example, and now you then you want to change and own the person. It's like you own the person. It's personal. So you would be doing saving their names as the my forever, my heartbeat, my endless love, heaven sent, those ones, or my heart, my love, my world, all those ones, they also add up. I mean, they are all the spices that makes the whole love relationship tick. And God is in his own wisdom, infinite wisdom, would give us the keys and the language of love that we would have to express at a certain point in time. So for those of you who can align yourself to the changing of names and all that, but I wasn't really like that. But for me, there was one thing, anytime I call the person that he says that gave me the tick, okay? And it was like, anytime I call, like, oh, Charlie, what's up? And the person say, I did for you. I like the sound of I did for you. And for those who know me, you know that I am a very deep thinker. So the person might probably be saying I did for you and meaning, Charlie, I'm there. And I have dug deeper into the idea for me. I'm thinking, okay, this is a person who is promising and giving assurance that they'll be there for you. And that is how I interpreted I did for you. And so just over this weekend, my mind just went back to that 2016, 2017 experience. And the lesson that God gave me that period and made me understand that, okay, it is okay to have a person who did for you, but know that I also did for you, okay? And that's the message I got. So this morning, we are just reminding ourselves of one, the love of God. This is just somebody who was telling me I did for you. And it meant a lot. It was refreshing to hear him say I did for you. It was comforting. It was relaxing to say I did for you. And God just spoke to my heart and said that you might not see I did for you in my scriptures or in my holy word. But when I say I did for you, it means I am with you until the end of time. It means I will never forsake you. It means I am with you. And I had a friend then, he would say that, okay, Maxine, it's time to start personalizing the love of God. So if God tells you that Emmanuel, you read from the scriptures that Emmanuel, God with us, it's time to put your name where Emmanuel fits and say Maxine, or God is with Maxine. Okay. So on that God is with Maxine, we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be back and we'll continue from where we left off. Please stay tuned. There's Random Thoughts with Maxine. This morning we are talking a bit of love. We are talking about some experiences we have had in the past, and I have shared a little bit of my experience with you as to when I was accessing a service and connected with somebody, and the connection led to another connection, and you know how those things happen. And so somebody's listening to me and like, oh, has the story ended? And you know how relationships are like, okay. So it's two things. Somebody will say it's just like a public transport, or it's like a bus, or it's like a moving vehicle. Sometimes you hop onto it knowing that this one is taking you to a particular destination. But sometimes when you sit in the car and realize that the driver is making turns that you are not familiar with, you say, oh, mate, Messi, or driver, I think I am not finding my way to the point that I really want to go. And so these are the things that happens with relationship. It either goes well or it doesn't go well. In my case, it didn't go well. But I learned my lessons. And today I am here and I'm sharing those experiences with you. And the second thing I learned about that is that sometimes, when we start moving from a platonic relationship to building a love relationship, we have expectations, okay? And it's expectations that kind of like drive us to even start a relationship. I don't know about you, but for me, I had expectations. And you know that sometimes our expectations as human beings are cut off. And that's it. And so it got to a point that I realized that my expectations were not being met. And it went off. And you know how it is like when the relationship gets off. Gets off means if it doesn't continue again, people will withdraw their idea for you, okay? The name that you had once upon a time saved the love of my life will change to something else, okay? So on the lighter note, I have a friend who is married and he has some few issues with her husband. And I went to visit the other time and I saw her phone ring. And you know how he has saved his husband's name? Fear not. And I was like, fear not. Who are you afraid of? And there's another friend who had saved his boyfriend's name, Annoyance. Something. And those ones are to remind you of the fact that those people who had probably done something and you are not like feeling them like you used to feel them. So the status would have changed. I don't know how the idea for you, but the idea for you never came again. And for me this morning, it is imperative that we get to know that God does not withdraw his love from us, even when we don't meet his expectations. Because you know what? His love for us is self-giving, okay? His love endures forever. His love is not subject to the changing scenes of life. But as human beings, we are limited. So now I don't really fault a lot of people when they don't meet my expectations, because this is what makes us humans. We are limited. But the love of God for his children is not limited. Because if he can give his only begotten son just for our sake, what else will he not give to us? And it is not like we have done anything extraordinary to merit that love. It is because he loved us. And Bible will say that he is the one who first loved us. And so you don't have to do much. But there is something I really want us to do this month. There is a God who is crazy about you. There is a God who wants your attention, just like you are in love and you want to speak to each other. You want to be in constant communication. You want to keep the flame burning. There is a God who is waiting patiently for you in the month of June and saying that for you to go through this month, I'm just reminding you of my love for you. That my love endures forever. My love is not limited. I will not take my idea for you when you say you don't love me again. Because whatever it is, I will do for you. And this is what we are talking about. Just look at your life this morning. And just look at God extending an invitation to you. What does it mean to love the Lord? Do you want this to be a personal project for the month of June? Because for you to see the goodness of the love of God in your life, you would have to experience it. And experiencing it, you see, now I can sit here and talk to you about an experience I had between 2016 and 2017, because I have had an experience. And that's the kind of experience God wants to have with you. You are not expected to do much. You are just expected to love him back. Love is reciprocity. Yeah, I got it. Reciprocity. It's a two-way thing. You know how it feels like when you're in a relationship and you call the person, they don't call you back. You check up on them, they don't check back on you. You are asking for dates, they are giving you excuses. You think you're kind of like wasting your time. But trust you me, God does not think he's wasting his time with us. He's waiting patiently. Can you just make the month of June a return to the Lord, back to the love of God? Because it is his love that sustains. When all others are gone, trust you me, for those of you who are listening to, you know how it is like to go through a broken heart. You know how it is like to nurse a broken heart. It is not pleasant. Anybody who has gone through that phase can attest that it is not, I don't even wish it on my worst enemy. Because it's a period of loneliness. It's a period when everything seems bleak. You can't even find left from right. You can't even decipher day from night. And that is it. But this morning, on Random Thought with Maxine, we are just reminding ourselves. It's a gentle reminder of one, the love of God, that his love for us does not change. His love is not about feelings. It's not like I love you today, I don't love you tomorrow, just like we do as humans. But his love abounds. His love is forevermore. Know that his love endures. And he's asking you to connect with him in this month of June. Connect with the Lord. You know how it was like from the beginning. You know the kind of relationship you had with God. You know the flame and the fire and the love for the things of God is going down. It is quenching. You know those times you can wake up at dawn and pray. You know those 10 and 15 minutes you will just give to the Lord in praises. Those minutes that you just call on the Lord. The Lord expects that one, you love him back. He expects that you commit everything that you so want to see happen in this new month into his hands. It is a sign that, Lord, I'm vibing with you. I love you, you love me back. Can I run these things by you? Can you run your decisions by him? Your desires by him, your fears by him, your worries by him. Just run it by him. Let him be involved in your life. That is love. This month is a way and a new beginning for you to reciprocate the love that the Father has extended. He's not taking his love back. His love is not subjected to feelings. His love is forevermore. It endures. It has no end. And he is with us. Just like I took solace in I day for you. Would you want to take solace? Would you want to hold on to I day for you? Meaning that I'll be with you through fire. I'll be with you through pain. When you go through the rivers, I'll be there to save you. Do you want him to be part of this new month? Think about it. Because trust you me, when he says he did for you, he did for you. And this is not limited. Okay? His love for you is not limited. It's random thought with Maxine. We are talking the love of God. We are reminding ourselves of his infinite love, the agape love, the self-sacrificing love, the love that is not subject to feelings, the love that is not transient, the love that is not fading. It will not go away. He is with you. He wants to love you more. Can you just love him a little more? Can you just love him a little more? Can you connect with him in prayer? Can you connect with him by reading his word? Can you know his ways and keep his commands? And the next thing I really want to run by you is that once you start reciprocating the love of God, it means you would have to work with his terms. You have to work with his terms. Just like when two people are in love, they talk about the things that they want to see happen. They tell you that. I remember those times he will say that we don't go to bed angry. We talk about issues. We trash it out before we sleep. Can you trust issues with the Lord? Can you tell the Lord that, okay, this is the way I went the other time. I didn't involve you. I am sorry. Can we do it this time? The Lord wants to partner with you in this walk of love. Because trust you me, we can understand his love. We cannot fathom. We cannot, even if he explains to us, that is what makes him God. Even if he explains why he loves us, we cannot even get it. But he gets it when he knows we are making effort to love him back. He gets it when we know in our struggles, in our disappointments, in our experiences that are not things we want to talk about, we still involve him. And it means that you love him with your soul, your mind, your everything. What makes you you is what you have to give to God. You know how we give our very best in relationships. You know how it is like you are just saving for that out eating. You are just saving for that nice watch you've seen and you want to buy for him. Can you just put in a little more effort, okay? Can you love him with everything that is within you? You are listening to me and thinking, how do I love him? And my answer is that just set the process in motion. Talk to him anyway, anyhow. There is no formula. But the same way you can pick your phone and call the person and express to them how you feel about them. Can you just relax and tell the Lord that I have gone my own way. I don't even know how to love you. But in this new month, I want to love you more. I used to love you in the past. My love for you has grown cold. It is dwindling. It is diminishing. I don't feel your love. Can you teach me how to love you? And we thank God yesterday was Pentecost Sunday. He's poured his love in us and he expects that we love him back. Okay. So desire God more and remind yourself daily of his amazing love. Are you desiring him? So the whole idea for this month is that we'll desire him more, we'll love him more, we'll try as much as possible to involve him in the things we do, our decision making, and we will obey his commands. We can only obey his commands when we read his word. Make a little more effort. Make a little more. It's random thought with Maxine. We are talking and we are reminding ourselves of the love of God, that it is endless, that it endures forever, that it is not fleeting, that it will be with us. And when God says he did for us, he will be with us. He did for us, and it doesn't mean that he will not be with us. Trust you me, human beings have promised us a lot, and they failed. And that's what makes us humans. But when God says, I dare for you, he dare for you. Know that he is with you. Know that he will be with you. Know that he does not leave. He does not forsake. Just do a little more. Love him back through your words, through your actions, and through your decision. May this new month bring us a lot of love. May the love of God that we cannot fathom and understand. May the Lord help us understand what it means when he says he did for us. Just as we can hold on to the love of our own human beings and mortals, can we hold on to the love that does not fail? And in all things know that his love abounds. Thank you so much for your time. It's been an awesome some few minutes to closing, right? Yeah. You're on point, and thank you so much for your time. Please connect with us, and I'm out of here.